Today's topic is general characteristics of equilibrium state, different form of equilibrium constant like Kp, Kc and Kx and their relationships as well as their units.
Now I am starting the second portion of the chemical equilibrium. In our previous video, we have already discussed that what is equilibrium state. Equilibrium state is nothing but the state of a chemical reaction, of a reversible chemical reaction which takes place in a closed vessel when the rate of forward reaction is equal to the rate of backward reaction. Now we shall discuss about the general characteristics of equilibrium state. What are the general characteristics? The first characteristic is given here. Number one, measurable properties of the system become constant. Now we have to know which are the actually measurable quantities. We know that the pressure, temperature, molar concentration, all these are the measurable properties of the system during the chemical reaction. These are the measurable properties because we can measure the pressure, we can measure the temperature, as well as we can measure the molar concentration of the reactants, as well as the each and every component, as well as the products. That's why all these are the measurable properties of the system. Now if or whenever the reaction medium, then the chemical reaction reaches at equilibrium, at that condition pressure, temperature, molar concentration, etc., all these measurable properties become constant. They do not get changed. Now the second portion, the second characteristic, established only in a closed vessel. Now we have already discussed that in a closed vessel, the concentration of the reactant, though it decreases gradually, and the concentration of the product, though it increases gradually, but after a certain time period it reaches equilibrium, because neither the gaseous product can be escaped from the reaction medium, nor the gaseous reactant can be escaped from the reaction medium. That's why they have to contain inside the reaction medium at that particular temperature and pressure under the certain condition of the reactions, and that's why these must take place in a closed system. If or whenever this takes place, the chemical reaction takes place in an open system, then if the reactants are in the gaseous state or the products are in the gaseous state, they escape from the reaction medium and have no tendency to return to the equilibrium system. And that's why such type of reactions are irreversible nature, cannot maintain the equilibrium. So equilibrium can be attained in a closed system only. Third is the always dynamic. Now already we have discussed in our previous video that after attaining equilibrium, we have seen that the pressure, temperature, molar concentration remains constant. What does it mean? Two properties, two conclusions can be drawn from this particular experiment, from this particular observation. Number one, the reaction has been stopped, and number two, reaction proceeds in either direction in equal rate. But already we have discussed that reaction is not stopped; it is in dynamic motion. So it proceeds in either direction. Rate of forward reaction is equal to the rate of backward reaction. It proceeds in either direction with equal rate. That's why it is always dynamic in nature. Now it is constant at a given temperature. Already from thermodynamics point of view, we can see that from Van 't Hoff's isotherm, we can express the expression reaction medium, that means the del G, that is the change in risk free energy, equal to del G0, that means the change in risk free energy at the standard state, plus RT ln K equilibrium. Only if it attains the equilibrium, then it becomes K equilibrium. Otherwise, it becomes the quotient, that means the reactant concentration of the product divided by the concentration of the reactant. It can be expressed like this. So whatever may be, see this, the equilibrium constant, that means the process or equilibrium state is related with the temperature only. That's why it is constant at a given temperature. So if the temperature remains constant, then equilibrium condition also remains constant. Now we shall discuss the last point. Catalyst only helps to attain equilibrium readily. Now how it affects? See that if a race is performed, this is the lane, and this race is actually there is an obstacle in between the pathway. Suppose this is the height of the obstacle. If it has to cover, suppose 3 feet height, then the velocity must be decreased. but instead of 3 feet it becomes 1 feet, then velocity decreases but not so much as compared to the others, as compared to the previous condition. So thus we can say that suppose a chemical reaction proceeds A to B, this is the energy axis, this is the energy axis, and this is the reaction coordinate, how fast the reaction proceeds it represents. Now if the graph can be drawn from A to B, whatever may be the graph, may be for the exothermic or endothermic, this is the reactant, this is the energy level of A, this is the energy level of B, then we have to supply this amount of energy which is called the activation energy, so that the reactant molecules, that means the molecules A, come into the reaction. But if we apply, this is actually in absence of catalyst, but if we apply some catalyst, then we can see that the activation energy graph is like this. Activation energy graph is like this. So you have to supply this amount of activation energy. So this said that it lowers, this is in presence of catalyst, so we can see this, in presence of catalyst the activation energy can be decreased, and hence rate of forward reaction can be increased, and that's why we can say that in presence of catalyst the chemical equilibrium will be attained more readily as compared to the in absence of catalyst. So catalyst only helps to attain the equilibrium readily, but after attaining equilibrium it has no effect on the equilibrium state, because see this, that for the backward reaction this is the amount of activation energy which is required, and for the forward reaction this is the amount of activation energy which is required. So after attaining equilibrium, rate of forward reaction will be affected equally, it is lowered by this amount, and it is lowered also by this amount, the rate of backward reaction will be affected also equally, and that's why catalyst affects both the reaction, that means rate of forward as well as the rate of backward reaction equally, and that's why we can say that catalyst has no effect on the equilibrium state. I am discussing the calculation of equilibrium constant. How can we calculate the equilibrium constant for a chemical reaction which is reversible in nature? Suppose A moles of A reacts with B moles of B to maintain this equilibrium, product C moles of C to form this product C moles of C, and D moles of D. So small letter denotes the number of moles and capital letter denotes the reactant as well as the product. Then according to the law of mass action, already we have discussed in our previous video that according to the law of mass action, the rate of a chemical reaction is proportional to the, if it is forward reaction, then it is proportional to the concentration of A to the power A, because number of moles goes to the power, into concentration of B to the power B. So according to the law of mass action, rate of a forward reaction or backward reaction is directly proportional to the reactant raised to the power of the concentration of the reactant particular. So number of moles goes to the power, that means number of species, number of moles means number of species denotes the power. So A to the power A into B to the power B, and again we can say that this equal to, by showing the equilibrium constant Rf, to express the equilibrium constant, then Rf equal to some constant Kf forward reaction into A to the power A into B to the power B. This is the constant for the forward reaction. Then again CRB, rate of backward reaction, is proportional to the concentration of C to the power C into D to the power D, D to the power D. Therefore we can say that RB, rate of backward reaction, equal to some KB, which is the constant, the proportionality constant, into C to the power C into D to the power D. Now at equilibrium we can say that rate of forward reaction equal to rate of backward reaction, in that case we can say that Kf into A to the power A into B to the power B equal to Kb into C to the power C into D to the power D. Therefore Kf by Kb, we can see this C to the power C into D to the power D whole divided by A to the power A into B to the power B, and this Kf by Kb represents the K equilibrium. This equal to C to the power C into D to the power D whole divided by a to the power a into b to the power b. Now we can say that this equilibrium constant is equal to nothing but the product of the chemical reaction. See this, CC, DD, C moles of C, B moles of D are the products, and A moles of A, B moles of B are the reactants. Therefore, K equilibrium equal to product by reactant. This is the form to express the K equilibrium. Now, if the reaction takes place in liquid condition, then this is the molar concentration. Third bracket denotes the molar concentration. Molar concentration. So, we can express the K equilibrium in case of molar concentration in term of molar concentration, which is denoted by Kc. But if the reactants or products are in gaseous state, then instead of molar concentration, we can write the partial pressure of the component. This is the partial pressure, either P1 or P2 or P3, etc. and so on. These are the partial pressure of the components, and the reaction equilibrium can be expressed as Kp. That means with respect to the partial pressure. So Kc is an equilibrium constant. Kp is also equilibrium constant. This is in case of liquid system. This is in case of gaseous system. And also we can express the equilibrium constant with respect to the mole fraction, where it denotes the mole fraction. So we can use this to express this. Therefore, see this. This is Kc, because we can assume that these are in the liquid state. That's why we express this in molar concentration. So Kp becomes partial pressure of C to the power C into partial pressure of D to the power D divided by partial pressure of A to the power A into partial pressure of B to the power B. See this, molar concentration term is transformed into the partial pressure term, and that's why Kc is transformed into Kp. Both of them are the equilibrium constant. Now if we express this in molar concentration instead of molar concentration or partial pressure, molar concentration or partial pressure instead, we can write this in presence of in form of actually mole fraction. Then the expression becomes Kx equal to mole fraction of C to the power C into mole fraction of D to the power D into mole fraction of A to the power A, mole fraction of A to the power A into mole fraction of B to the power B. Where mole fraction, what is mole fraction? We know that mole fraction denotes, suppose Xc is equal to number of moles of C divided by total number of moles. Total number of moles means number of moles of the A, number of moles of B, plus number of moles of C, plus number of moles of D. So sum total of the number of moles will be in the denominator, and number of moles of that component, for which you can express the mole fraction of that particular component, is denoted by the Xc. So this is the expression for the Kx. Now we shall derive the relations between Kp, Kc and Kx. All these are the equilibrium constant with respect to first pressure, with respect to molar concentration, and with respect to the mole fraction. Now we know that Kp equal to, for this equilibrium, A moles of A plus B moles of B reversible, C moles of C plus D moles of D. We can write this Kp equal to Pc to the power C into Pd to the power D divided by Pa to the power A into Pb to the power B. Pb to the power B. Now we know that Pv equal to nRT. For an ideal gas, we can know that Pv, you can write that Pv equal to nRT, where P is the total pressure, He is the volume of the container, N is the total number of moles are molar gas constant, and T is the absolute critical temperature. Therefore, P equal to N by V into RT. And we know that N by V is equal to the molar concentration of that component into RT. So if we express this in Pa, therefore this will be concentration of A into RT, Pv equal to this Pb into RT, etc. and so on. Therefore, Kp can be expressed as, instead of Pc we can write that C into RT whole to the power C. Instead of Pd we can write that D into RT whole to the power D. Instead of Pa we can write that A into RT whole to the power A. Instead of Pb you can write that B into RT whole to the power B. Now by simplifying this we get C to the power C into D to the power D divided by A to the power A into B to the power B into RT whole to the power C plus D minus A plus B. See this is the expression. Now we know that Kp is this. instead of Kp, if we write the relation between relation of Kc, then Kc will be, for this reaction, Kc will be C to the power C, D to the power D, A to the power A into B to the power B, and Kx will be, for this equilibrium, Xc to the power C, Xd to the power D, Xa to the power A into Xb to the power B. So these are the different equilibrium constant, expression of the different equilibrium constant with respect to first pressure, with respect to molar concentration, and then with respect to the mole fraction. Now see this is the Kc term. So this is the Kc term into RT whole to the power, this is the del N. Del N means number of moles, total number of moles of the product minus total number of moles of the reactant. This is denoted by the del N. So this is the relation between Kp and Kc, because Kp equal to Kc into RT whole to the power del N. Now again we can say that, we can write this expression as Kp equal to, see this, Kp equal to Pc to the power C into Pd to the power D divided by Pa to the power A into Pb to the power B. Then what is partial pressure? We know that partial pressure of a component, suppose A, equal to total pressure into mole fraction of A. This is the relation between partial pressure and the mole fraction. Partial pressure and mole fraction. So instead of Pc we can write that total pressure into mole fraction of C whole to the power C, total pressure into mole fraction of D whole to the power D, divided by total pressure into mole fraction of A whole to the power A, total pressure into mole fraction of B whole to the power B. So simplifying this expression, we get Xc to the power C into Xd to the power D divided by Xa to the power A into Xb to the power B whole into P to the power C plus D minus A plus B. So see this, Kp equal to, this expression denotes the Kx. So Kx into P to the power, again C plus D is the total number of moles of the product minus A plus B is the total number of moles of the reactant. So number of moles of the product minus total number of moles of the reactant will be P to the power del N. So this is the relation between Kp and Kx, and this is the relation between Kp and Kc, Kp and Kc, this will be del N. So these are the relation between Kp, Kc and Kx. Now I am discussing relations between Kp, Kc and their units. Kp, Kc and their units. See this, N2 plus 3H2 plus reversible to NH3. This is the reaction, first equilibrium, closed vessel. All these the components are in gaseous state, N2 gaseous, 3H2 gaseous, reversible to NH3 gaseous. Now what is the expression for Kp? We know that Kp equal to partial pressure of ammonia square divided by partial pressure of nitrogen into partial pressure of hydrogen cube. So if we express the partial pressure in atmosphere, then unit will be atmosphere square divided by atmosphere, because this is atmosphere power to the power 1 into atmosphere to the power cube, because partial pressure denoted by atmosphere. So the overall expression will be atmosphere to the power 2 minus 4. That means atmosphere to the power minus 2. This is the unit of Kp. Now if we relate the Kp and Kc, then we know that Kp equal to Kc into RT whole to the power del N. Now what is del N here? See that here the del N equal to number of moles of the product 2 minus total number of moles of the reactant 1 plus 3. So it becomes 2 minus 4, that means minus 2. So it becomes Kc into RT whole to the power minus 2. So if or whenever del N is less than 0, then see this, Kp is equal to Kc into RT to the power minus 2. Therefore we can say that Kp is less than Kc. In that case Kp is less than Kc. So if del N is less than 0, see in this expression del N becomes minus 2. If del N is less than 0, then Kp is less than Kc. In this case, see this, what is the value of del N? We know that del N equal to number of moles of the product, that means 2, minus number of moles of the reactant, that means 1 plus 1. So it becomes again 0. Therefore Kp equal to Kc into RT whole to the power 0. RT whole to the power 0. This equal to Kc. Kp equal to Kc. So it has no unit actually, because the expression of Kp becomes partial pressure of Hi square divided by partial pressure of hydrogen into partial pressure of iodine. See this, if we express the partial pressure in atmosphere unit, then it becomes atmosphere square divided by atmosphere into atmosphere. So it has no unit. It has no unit. Now for this expression, see this, what is the value of del N? Total number of moles of the product, that means 2 plus 1, 2 plus 1 minus total number of moles of the reactant 2, that means 1. So if or whenever del N equal to 0, then Kp equal to Kc, Kp equal to Kc, and here del N is greater than 1. In that case, Kp equal to Kc, that means here Kp is del N, it becomes del N is greater than 0. So first case del N is less than 0, Kp is less than Kc. Second case del N equal to 0, Kp equal to Kc. Third case del N is greater than 0, therefore Kp equal to Kc into Rp to the power 1, and we can say that Kp is greater than Kc. In that case Kp is greater than Kc, and the unit of equilibrium constant can be expressed as partial pressure of NO square into partial pressure of Cl2 divided by partial pressure of NOCl square, and that is equal to atmosphere square into atmosphere divided by atmosphere square. So it becomes atmosphere. So these are the units. Actually these are the processes through which you can express the unit and express the relation between Kp and Kc for several reactions. In case of del N less than 0, it becomes less, Kp less than Kc. If del N is equal to 0, then Kp equal to Kc. If del N is greater than 0, then Kp is greater than Kc. See this, Kp is greater than Kc. So all these processes can be done if or whenever any such type of examples can be given. We can derive the relation between Kp and Kc, and also can derive the unit of Kp or Kc, whatever may be. But we must remember this point. Must remember that molar concentration of pure solid must be equal to 1, and molar concentration of pure liquid, not the solution, rather pure liquid, must be equal to 1. So in that case we have taken that pure solid and pure liquid cannot disturb the equilibrium constant value, because they are assumed that their concentration doesn't get changed. So that's why do not get changed, and that's why the concentration of solid is taken as 1 and that of liquid is taken as 1.